There we go. All right, looks like we're back. So, we're going to go ahead and continue where we left off. Sorry, YouTube dumped the stream. I had nothing to do with it. They've done that a couple of times now. I don't know what's going on their end. But anywho, where we left off.
You're saying that that's something that's just out of his character, right?
Completely out of his character.
And what would substantiate your position is that let's look at what he was doing on probation. He's paying his money, he's reporting, he's ahead of the game on community service, right?
Yes, sir.
He's being complimented by the judge on what he's doing with his community service, right?
Yes, sir.
So at the end of the day, if we compare his actions while on probation to this one particular day, then this one particular day is out of the ordinary. Is that right?
Yes.
And would you say that the chances of another day like that happening again is not really good? Is that right?
Not really good. He wouldn't do it.
Right. And probation department just talked about their programs and how good the programs are. And if the judge puts him on those programs, you got the transportation. I think that's why you told the judge that you got the transportation. You will get him to the places that he needs to go, considering that this was an out of the ordinary situation.
Yes, sir.
Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Thank you for your time.
I have no questions for this witness, Judge.
And let me just correct for the record on the math part. This was his second bad day. His first bad day, we put him on probation for.
You come this way, my man.
Yeah. I got you. I'm not arguing with you.
You can only do the best you can. All right,
Did you want to hear from him? Look,
it's up to y'all.
did you want to touch that? Yes, sir. All right. One question for you. You know that judge can put you in jail for up to 5
How much
years.
time credit?
Put it up there.
Thank you.
The judge can put you in jail up to 5 years based upon the plea deal that we got with the state of Texas, or he can continue you on supervision. Speak on your own behalf now and tell the judge why we're asking to be continued on probation. You tell him.
Yes, sir. I know. Really just was trying to make it back home to make sure I could take care of my grandma and my child as well. I mean, I was doing everything I was supposed to do. I was taking care of all of my fees and doing my community service, but like my mom wound up previously saying, I just wound up starting the job and I started putting more time into it. And I also have messages between me and my manager. Me and my manager would always talk. I was just putting a lot of time just trying to learn stuff, but I was going to become a manager. So I'd be making more money to provide for my family. And I wound up going through a little depression. And I also got the records from Spindle Talk. I could get those too as well. I just wound up going through a depression dealing with my first case. So
What do you mean? Depression for your first case? I mean, you intentionally committed those acts. What are you mad at yourself? You intentionally committed those acts. That's what you pleaded guilty to. What are you in depression for? You acted with intent to do that. So it's not like it was an accident or you were forced to by someone without your free will.
Yes, sir.
Don't be blaming something when it's your intent. You've got to stand up like a man, and actually that's what you did when you accepted responsibility the first time.
Yes, sir.
Because this was serious.
And you heard about from the probation officer when he testified about programs that are available to you. Did you hear his testimony, right?
Yes, sir.
And I asked him, "You think the program is pretty good?" He said, "Yes, it is."
Yes, sir.
That came from them, right? So if they have a pretty good program and he says that it's a pretty good program, your mama's saying that she's going to do the transportation to get you there. The question I got for you is, if the judge keeps you on probation, will you do the program?
Yes, sir.
And will you be there and listen attentively and do what you need to do?
Yes, sir.
All right. So are you asking the court to continue you on supervision based upon what the court has heard from the probation officer, yourself, your mother, as well as your grandmother?
Yes, sir.
All right. And this time, if you got this one shot, you're not going to let it up and down, are you?
No, sir.
All right. Thank you for your time.
I have no questions for this defendant, Judge.
Go ahead, don't go anywhere. Anything else?
That's it, Judge. I just would ask the court to continue him on supervision, and I'm not gonna rehash everything that you've already heard.
I'm sorry, please.
I'm not gonna rehash everything that you've already heard. It's just listening to the mom, the grandmother. I really believe that they sincere from their heart.
Hey, let me ask something before we finish up here on evidence in this case. I'm looking at
Yes, sir.
this report on this event at 11:30, almost midnight here on October 4th. And it states a requested Philip's blood, according to the policeman. Requested his blood. He consented. He also signed a DIC 24. I transported him to the county jail, checked the blood draw, ensured it was not tampered. It was not tampered. Draw was made at a little after midnight, about 1 o'clock, and he was released. I placed the blood evidence in the blood evidence fridge. There's nothing in here that talks about what
We got the test back.
I don't have anything about the result.
If there's no objection from Mr. Adams, Judge, I tender to the court.
Okay.
It came back.
I tender to the court the lab report indicating a 0.197 BAC from that evening.
Okay. Well, that's 2.5 times the legal limit of ethanol. So you were 2.5 times the legal limit at midnight when your family was at home and you should have been at home, right?
Yes.
Okay, give it your best shot.
Judge, like I said, you heard all of the testimony. I do believe, and I'm not going to rehash everything that you've heard, but I will give my commentary on that. I do believe that the grandmother, I do believe his mother is absolutely sincere, and they appear to be.
I'm sure she is.
And I don't know them personally, but just from my judgment of character, they really truly love their grandson, and I really believe that they're going to be there to help him do well on probation.
But they were there before.
Right. And as they testified that was an out of ordinary situation with the probation saying that the treatment program, the substance treatment program is so good. I don't have any doubt that they're going to make sure he gets there. And I don't have any doubt that he's going to actually go there and get the treatment that he needs. And I think that Judge, if just from what I can tell about him, and that's just my position and argument, he doesn't appear to be one of those type of guys that needs to be incarcerated in prison. That's going to be a danger. That's going to be acting a fool. And I understand what the underlying offense. I get y'all.
What about that?
No, I hate that.
Does that have you ever done such a thing? I haven't. I wouldn't even thought about shooting at cars and buildings.
Right.
At people where people can be shot and killed. Come on. That's
no.
He was you represented him on the underlying case, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you did a fabulous job on giving him a second chance in light of the potential catastrophe that could have occurred because there were numerous bullets shot. Yeah, that was a remarkable defense of getting him deferred or unadjudicated probation. And that's why, and you made promises to me, I'm going to follow these rules. And I stuck my neck out and gave you that chance.
And in terms of following those rules, Judge, I would ask to give him some consideration just on what the probation department said. In following those rules, he reported, was doing that community service.
He's not getting punished for what he did do.
No.
Properly.
But he's
going to get punished for what he failed to do as required.
Right. But I would just ask that the court would take that in consideration for mitigation purposes, because those were the things that he did well. And your probation department brought those things out. And the point that I'm making, Judge, is that I totally feel you on the underlying offense, but just look at it. I mean, he doesn't seem to me as that type of guy that
he's been in jail.
Well,
they don't let him have handguns in jail, and they don't let him drink.
No.
I mean, he's. But that's the problem is when he's in the free world, we have a problem keeping him from making mistakes and not following the rules. That's where you're not getting punished for good behavior. You're punished for failing to conform to what you were required to do, that you promised you would do. Follow all the rules.
I just think, Judge, if you give him this one shot, and I know you gave him first shot, which is probation. If you just give him this second shot, let's say that the second shot, I don't believe you'll see him again. And I just get that impression just from the support that he has for the family. I mean, you just think about this, Judge, and here's why I be quiet. Think about all of the people who come into your court, right? Who don't have that family support and background. He does have that support. And I think that grandmother, and you can look at her, she appears to be a wise lady, years of experience and wisdom. And I think when they have that heart to heart grandmother, grandson conversation, if you continue him, I think after that conversation, the chances of him coming back is not going to be good. And I think that conversation is going to take place.
Most people in this room who are defendants don't have that kind of familial support and role modeling at home. He does.
Yes, sir.
Shame on him for having that environment, knowing right from wrong, and still making the wrong choices. Not one wrong choice, choices. Mm-hmm. You had role modeling at home. That was good. You go against what they were representing. You acted contrary to what their role modeling and examples were. And reminding you, what you tried to tell me a little while ago that I find disturbing is I've got family at home. You had a family at home at midnight when you were almost three times the legal limit of intoxication while you were on probation that forbid that kind of behavior. You should have been at home taking care of the family like you promised you would. And you were put in harm's way because you shot up the town that night and almost killed numerous people by shooting into cars and buildings. Next, what else?
That's all I got.
Yeah, I'll be brief because actually I had an outline of things I want to hit and I ticked them off as you mentioned them. The fact that probation was essentially a gift, you've mentioned that Mr. Adams was admirable in his advocacy in securing this probation for this defendant. I ticked off the fact that you mentioned that your order was a promise that this defendant made. What good is an order if you don't enforce that order, Judge, when it's violated? It's not a suggestion. It's not an invitation. It's not a pretty please. It's an order from the court, and this defendant, he violated that order. I ticked off the fact that you mentioned that it's his decisions. It's his decisions that put him before this court. There should be consequences for those decisions. And lastly, Judge, I also ticked off the fact that I was going to remind the court of the underlying facts surrounding the underlying offense and the fact that he's in a shootout with some other fellow and he's shooting at cars and buildings. And you mentioned that, so that makes my argument very brief, Your Honor. It is admirable that this defendant completed the community service hours he did. It's admirable that he was paying the fees that he paid, but nevertheless, there needs to be accountability, Judge, for violating the court's order. Judge, I go back to my time in the military when there was a phrase that was used called turning sharp corners. For this defendant to be given the gift that you gave him by putting him on probation, he should have known that the corners he turned, he needed to turn sharp corners. And he was cutting corners that night in that Taco Bell parking lot when he was intoxicated, Judge. And the court knows in its common sense that for him to get to that Taco Bell parking lot, he had to drive there, Judge. And in driving there 3 times the legal limit, he endangered the public like he endangered them during the shooting incident, Judge. 5 years is what I'm asking, Judge. I'm asking you to revoke this defendant and assess his punishment at 5 years, which is essentially on the low end or the mid-range of the punishment range in this case, Judge. Mr. Adams made the comment that give him one shot. Judge, when does one shot turn into a second chance, turn into a third chance, turn into a fourth chance? He's making a mockery of this court and this judge's order.
No,
it's his argument, Judge.
No.
Hold on. Hold on. Let him.
How am I making a mockery?
I didn't say you.
Hold on.
Hey,
one at a time. Break clean.
I didn't say he was.
Okay.
He gets a chance to be heard, and I'm gonna let you end. What else?
No, my point was the defendant was making a mockery of this, of your order.
I thought you
Yeah, that's the way I understood.
Yeah,
it.
I thought he was saying ours. Okay, then okay, never mind. I take that back. Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize for interrupting you.
I'm asking you to sentence this judge, sentence this defendant, revoke his probation, reform his judgment, judge, send him to a prison for the decisions that he made that brought him before you today. And I'm asking you to to assess 5 years in TDCJ, judge.
All right. Anybody else? Anything?
Judge, I'm just asking, and I'm not going, when you heard the argument, if not for him, for his mom and his grandmother, just to please continue.
Yeah, I feel and you're right. I feel sorry for them. Why weren't they important to you at midnight when you were intoxicated on probation, when you had everything to lose? And they're taking, but you made a promise to me that you would take care of things. And I stuck my neck out on this because these are two crimes of serious violence, which could have resulted in multiple injuries or deaths. On each of these cases in 24 CR 303 and 30304, where the defendant was placed on probation, deferred or unadjudicated probation for 10 years for deadly conduct, discharge of firearm, a third-degree felony in each case. In this motion to revoke probation, I find that the defendant has pleaded true to allegations 1 and 4, committing the offense of operating a motor vehicle while intoxicated on or about October 4th, 2025 in Jefferson County, Texas, and being at a location other than his residence at midnight on or about October 4th, 2025. Those are both violations of terms and conditions of his probation. I find that his voluntary and knowingly plea of true are enough in each of these cases to support those findings and allegations by a preponderance of the evidence or greater. I find them to be true, and thus these motions to revoke unadjudicated probation in each of these cases are hereby granted. In each of these cases, the defendant pleaded guilty voluntarily, knowingly, intelligently to the crimes of deadly conduct, discharge of a firearm, a third-degree felony in each of these cases. The defendant was mentally competent to do so. He understood and appreciated the consequences of pleading guilty. There was sufficient evidence supporting his guilty plea in each case from State's Exhibit 1 to find him guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. His deferred or unadjudicated probation is hereby revoked. I now find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt in each of these third-degree felonies. And I am following this agreement. The agreement that was reached is whatever sentence shall not exceed a cap of 5 years. You being found guilty of these third-degree felonies, you are hereby sentenced to confinement in the institutional division of the Texas Department of Criminal Justice to serve a term of 4 years on each of these cases. These sentences shall run concurrently. Also, these judgments shall reflect affirmative findings that a deadly weapon, namely a firearm, was used in the commission of each of these crimes. Do you understand what has happened now, sir?
Yes.
Your probation is revoked and you are sentenced. And again, this court hates failure. I want to see success. I wish we had 100% rather than 93%. But you understood and appreciated the importance of the seriousness of this violent crime. We all stuck our neck out, giving you a second chance. And it wasn't long, a year, and you are failing. And this was fixable. I think you're capable of doing the right thing and doing better. I'm disappointed because I had good ideas that you had fixed these mistakes and you were going to live better with better decisions. But once again, you have family and responsibilities at home at midnight. You're not supposed to be at midnight intoxicated, drunk in a vehicle, sitting around intoxicated while the family is at home and you're on probation. You have to pay a price. Fix this. Get out and make a responsible, exemplary life, not only for yourself, but for the children who you are going to be role modeling. You have to set an example, and you are able to be better. Do it. All right. That's my wish for you and your family. And again, these sentences shall run concurrently. Anything else?
That's it.
Not from the state, Judge.
Thank you, Judge.
Hey, here.
Alrighty, friends, it's TCF Live on an interesting Super Friday all of a sudden. We got interrupted by silly YouTube in the middle that dumped our stream. So apologies for that, but obviously we're on part 2 right now. But before that was dumped, Ashley gifted 10 memberships and Lindsay gifted 10 memberships. So thank you both for that. And Lindsay just gave us $20 for going into overtime. So thank you for that, Lindsay. Speaking of Lindsay, members, if you go to the member emojis, there is now a WTF Judge Stevens emoji. That is compliments of Lindsay. That is the emoji that she paid for a week or 2 back. So here's the thing. I promised you guys Dungeon Court. So we're going to go to the bottom of the hour, another 15 minutes or so we can have a little bit of that. And if you're not familiar, Dungeon Court is our Friday guilty pleasure. Crimson red carpets, the sandstone wall behind the judge that has a little bit of blood seeping from it. The cries behind the camera that can be heard. The undead roam, it's clear. Sometimes you can see visions of them. A prosecutor who is the crypt keeper. A judge so old that he was good friends with Pontius Pilate. Lighting ripped straight from the Cold War Soviet war rooms. People dressed interestingly. They say Appalachian justice is best served in a cold, dank basement, and believe me, you can smell the mold and mildew through the video. Ladies and gentlemen, our Friday guilty pleasure, the best worst court you'll ever find. I give you Dungeon Court.
Stephen Calico, 151768. Stephen Calico. Not here will be a benchmark for failure to appear. Keith Carpenter, 252862, for striking out. He did finish his community service. He hasn't paid off his fine, so he failed to appear today. So there will be a benchmark for failure to appear. Can you check his and make sure what the date is? Keith Carpenter. Okay, that's what I started to read, I think 727. So I'm going to pass it. No warrant. It should be placed on 727 for review. Earl Carter, 251974. Earl Carter is here. And he's in treatment. Do you have a report?
Your Honor, last time you ordered him to us and he came in for an assessment, but he didn't qualify due to his medical insurance. We spoke with TPC and they were willing to accept him into their program.
Okay. And that's correct?
Yes, he's currently complying with outpatient services and UAs.
Okay. So that's a part of his orders. He's required to do treatment. And you still have community service and fines to pay too?
Yes, sir. I got 40 to pay on the fine today.
Okay. And you've been screening him then?
Yes, we have been. He's had his initial one that is clean, and then next time I'll be bringing all of his paperwork for you.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, see the clerk to make your payment,
Yes, sir.
and we'll give you a new date.
All right. No.
I'm going to make it August 28th.
Okay.
August 28th will be your next hearing at 9 o'clock.
I have my community service done then.
Okay, very good. See the clerk to make your payment. James Dement is here.
Thank you. Thank you.
23, 1859, 24, 290, 24, 635, 24, 786, and 787. Did you change providers?
For what? I was
Treatment.
at OVP and I graduated there
Okay,
and then went to here.
all right. So you, is Brianna here today?
I have not seen her.
Or anyone here from OVP? I'd like to get a report from them.
And I done community service too at the food bank.
Okay.
They are trying to get a report.
Okay, and in the meantime, I want him to get a screen, so let's have a screen done here at the court.
Yes, sir.
Then come back.
Thank you.
So we'll recall Mr. Dent later. Misty Dotson, 23706. And you got a report from Marshall Health?
Yes.
Okay. They'll come get it. Okay, got a report dated June 30th. Says you're compliant. And screens are good, okay? Making a payment on your fine today?
I can't today, Your Honor.
Okay. Well, you're gonna have to start doing community service extra. You gotta get it taken care of. If you can't pay it, you can work extra community service to take care of it, okay?
Okay.
I'll set you for August 21st as your next hearing, 9 o'clock.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Corey Fry, 26, 122, Corey Fry. Hasn't done anything, I was gonna order a urine screen today, he's not here, so it'll be a bench warrant for failure to appear. Cynthia Gannon is here, 25, 547. Community services done, and she's at TPC. Do you have a report on her?
She actually has completed our program and is voluntarily staying.
Okay, very good. And is compliant with?
Yes, she's compliant with treatment.
Do you have a payment on your fines?
Yes.
How much are you paying?
50.
50?
Mm-hmm.
David Webb.
Make your payment, and I'll set you for the 28th of August, August 28th. 9 o'clock.
Okay.
John Guido, Misty McCarty, Jared Stover, Kelsey Summers, Cindy Wood, Michael Rowe, Jason Packard. Mr. Guido.
You can put him on the docket, I don't think that's what it's for.
Oh, okay.
And I should let Roger know, Roger's his attorney. Okay, John Guido, 25944, John
Should
Guido.
be on Zoom.
Yes, sir.
All right, are you still with the counseling center?
No, I'll be ready now.
Okay, I do have that letter, June's, no, that was.
I haven't finished my community service. I had a payment a couple weeks ago. I'll be getting billed this coming Friday.
Okay. I'll set your next hearing for August 28th,
9 a.m.
9 a.m., yes, sir.
All right, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Well, let's, I'm sorry, Misty McCarty. Misty McCarty, 25504, case number, Misty McCarty. She's been at Focus and got good reports, but she's not finished. Did she finish?
She did complete, yes.
Okay, can you get me a completion letter then?
Yes, I will work on getting that.
Okay. Jared Stover is here. Is that RRS? I'm going to report to them. Okay, compliant with treatment and your screens are good. Case numbers are 2620, 25501, 24461. There's still amounts due on the last two cases. Do you have a payment to make today?
I've made 200 since the last $200 payments. I made $100 yesterday and then
Okay, I
100.
can see that.
Okay.
Paid yesterday.
I think there's a total of 385 left.
Okay. Mondays or Fridays for your hearings?
Fridays, please.
August 28th.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. 9 o'clock, August 28th. Kelsey Summers, 25763. You've done all but 2 hours of your community service, it looks like. And you still have fines to pay. Do you have a payment today on your fine?
No, I'm gonna work through that with, community service.
Okay. I'll set you for August 31st as your next hearing. August 31st at 9 o'clock. Cindy Wood, 25678.
Yes. I tried to make a payment earlier. I'm gonna pay it off. I've got the money to pay it off today.
Okay. Well, that's all you owe is fines and court costs. If you do that, you won't have to come back. But I'm going to go ahead and give you a date, and then if you pay it, you don't have to be here.
Okay.
Because I've had people tell me they're going to pay it
Yeah,
off.
actually, yeah, I had it, yeah, I got it in the pocket, yes,
So-
yes.
August 31st is the next hearing, but if you pay it by then, you don't have to be here.
All right.
9 a.m., August 31st.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. Matthew Rowe, 234. Matthew Rowe is not here.
Should be on Zoom, I believe.
Okay, he's on teleconference. Yes, he is there. Mr. Rowe, can you hear me? Okay, what you gotta make a payment?
Yeah, I made one, so I third, I believe.
Okay, I'll set your next hearing for August 31st, 9 o'clock.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. Jason Tackett is here.
Just an FYI, folks, when they supposedly appear via Zoom on Dungeon Court, it's actually appearing from the afterlife. It's not really Zoom. Thank you to everybody for kind of riding with us through a couple of bumps today, but I think it was a good day in court overall, despite YouTube trying to destroy it, but that's okay. part 1 is still there, just like what happened a couple of weeks ago. It just stopped ticking in the stream and decided it was a good idea to end it, but it saved it so you can go back and watch. So it's not like it got deleted or something. But overall, good day, good week. I've enjoyed spending time with all of you, so thank you, because I know that you've got a lot of places you can put your time, and it's never lost on me that you choose to spend it here, so thank you. We'll be back Monday, 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 a.m. Pacific, a half an hour earlier if you're a channel member. We will post videos throughout the weekend, so do keep an eye out for that. The wisdom I leave you with for the weekend: you must take personal accountability. You cannot change the circumstances, the seasons, or the wind, but you can change yourself. I honestly wish that a lot of the defendants that we see would get that message. Go forth and have a good week. Let's try that again, because I trip over my words. Go forth and have a good weekend, my friends. Take care. God bless.